united with Christ. Meet local churches with open doors, serving throughout the Border Valley community and sharing the truth and hope of God's love and salvation. A presentation of Life Christian Broadcasting Television. And now, United with Christ.
Good morning. This is Lisa Bacchus. Thanks for having us again. And I'm with Westside Pregnancy Center. My guest today is Deborah Gray. We call her Deb. And I'm going to have her tell you how this whole center started. She was there before they hired me. And we're going to talk about abortion and what we can do to turn things around and save lives. So Deb, welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for having me. And thank you for turning in. And we just want to share a few things about what's going on at Westside Community Church and Westside Pregnancy Center. I was fortunate enough to be here about a year ago and talk to you about some of the ministries that are going on at Westside. And one of the things that was on our heart was the pregnancy center. And it was just in its infant stages. And I thought, 2 or 3 months we'll have this up and running. Well, here we are. The Lord had a different thing in mind, and his timing is perfect. And when we first merged with Mount Franklin Baptist Church, Westside went in, and we had a huge building. And I know that Pastor Joe Williams, he's been on, and he shared a lot about the different ministries that have come into the church. And if you would pray for him, he's in Kenya on a missions trip right now, and the Lord is just doing amazing things with him being there. And we just ask for prayers and safe travels for him. But we merged into it. This church was so big, and we just felt the Lord impressing on our hearts that every inch of the church needed to be used for the Lord.
Amen.
And one day, Pastor Joe and I were praying about this, how to best use the church. And this young man comes into the door, and his name is Mark Cavalier, and he is with 40 Days for Life. And I'll talk a little bit more about 40 Days for Life and the Coalition for Life. He came in and he sat down and talked to us and talked about the vigils that they hold twice a year, 40 days straight of praying.
Outside the abortion clinics.
Outside the abortion clinics. And at the time, there was only 2. And unfortunately, they've added a third, which is Planned Parenthood. And we just started praying about how we could help with the pro-life movement in El Paso. And as we did more research and praying, the Lord really showed us that there was quite a need for a pregnancy clinic on the west side.
Yes.
There was Central and East, but nothing on the west side. And we have an abortion clinic that is 3.4 miles from the church door. That, we really need to put our faith into action and to really help the unborn. And so with prayer, the Lord really laid it on our heart that we should open up the church as a pregnancy center. Just so happens we had 3 classrooms that used to be with the school, and it was just a perfect space to start the pregnancy center. And then I met you. And we had been praying for a director. We'd just been praying for the Lord just to go before us and prepare the field. And we started praying with 40 Days for Life, and that's how I met you. And the Lord impressed, you've got to get this young lady. She is just the perfect person to be the director.
No, I like the word young, but
well, we're the same age, so I can say young. But the Lord has just been amazing. Just kind of blowing our dreams out of the water, and just we thought right off the bat we want to start with an ultrasound, because we were reading and doing research that when a girl is in crisis, that if she can see the baby and hear the heartbeat, that it really makes them take a second thought about really what they're doing. So we started praying for an ultrasound machine, and we were gifted an ultrasound machine from another
Farmington.
From Farmington CareNet clinic.
Yeah.
And we were just so thankful. And then we said, well, Lord, you gave us and you provided the ultrasound machine. Okay, we need a tech. And it just so happens that a girl walked through the church doors and she's like, I've just been certified to do ultrasounds. And it's just amazing to sit back and watch
And
the
Lauren
Lord
is
work.
a beautiful young lady, just beautiful, has a heart for the Lord, and she's going to be such an asset to us.
Yeah, we're truly blessed.
Yes.
Truly blessed to have this young lady. So we're excited. Again, the Lord is just opening doors and placing the perfect people in the clinic.
And right now what we're working on is talking to the pastors and getting, so if you're a pastor, you can tell him, I heard this on TV, Westside Pregnancy Center. I'm going to be calling the Westside pastors, but we'd love pastors from all across the city to join us and have a place that they can refer girls to. We need to help women decide to keep their babies, bottom line, because keeping their babies is the best decision that they can make. Unfortunately, too many of them, you're talking about Dr. Thayer's clinic. Don't want to give him any business, but that's his name. Dr. Thayer is El Paso's #1 preemie baby. He's also El Paso's #1 abortionist. My mind has a hard time putting those two together. But he opened up the clinic. He has his clinic down by El Paso High. He opened up this clinic in New Mexico not that long ago, and he can use that clinic to circumvent Texas's good laws. We have parental notification. We have a waiting period. In New Mexico, they don't have any of that.
And you can only abort up to 14 weeks in Texas, where there's not that.
Nothing. It's the wide open. It's wide open over there, and we see young girls. We see 12-year-olds come with old men. We see horrible things out there. There's a group of us that do sidewalk counseling. We need that too, not just ladies that say, well, we need women out at the 40 Days for Life right now is in the middle of one of their campaigns, and last week it was wonderful because we average about 20 to 26 cars, and last week we had 6. The rain, plus now 40 days, they see more people out there, not just the 4 of us that are usually there. So we need people out at the clinics too. We need ladies just to help us sort the clothes that are going to be donated to us. We have so many different areas that people can work in. Of course, we need counselors to talk to the girls, and they'll be trained. We've joined a national organization called CareNet. Why don't you tell us how we got started with CareNet? Because you all had that in place before I even came in.
We did. Again, when we were praying and just tossing the ideas around, we started reaching out to different groups that already had the pregnancy centers, Pregnancy and Fatherhood Solutions, Guiding Star, and just felt led to be part of the affiliation of CareNet. They're on point with our statements of faith and what we believe in. I've been a pro-life person even in high school. That's a long time ago. And through my journey of wanting a baby and not being able to conceive and just all the things that I went through, and to think that all these unwanted babies, you know, they were just killing them, and just broke my heart. So it's been a passion and something that the Lord has laid on my heart, that eventually He was going to give me an opportunity to serve Him that way. And you know, reading my Bible, the Lord gave us a commission, and that was to take care of the orphans and the widows.
Amen.
And unborn babies that don't have a voice fall under the orphan category. At least in my heart they do. And to be able to be their voice. And for the young girls that find themselves terrified and alone. From day one, we wanted to be a place, not just a center, but a place that they could come and find somebody that would walk the journey with them.
Be on their side.
Be on their side.
Yeah.
To not just see the baby and to not see the girl that's broken and that needs somebody.
I'm going to interrupt
lot
you.
of
You said
places
something a minute ago. You said unwanted children. I think if we stopped and really looked at the entire world, there's no such thing as an unwanted.
There
There
are
are
so
so many
many.
people that want to adopt.
That was me.
Yeah, that was me. I have 2 adopted children.
Right, and I have 2
Yeah.
adopted girls. You have 2 adopted boys, I have 2
We're
adopted.
sisters. We just don't know that we have the same parents. But yeah, I want to give a challenge to maybe you're an infertile woman out there. I don't care what caused it. It may be being post-abortive. It may just be medical. Come and stand out at the clinics. One of our children was somebody who we were out at the clinic. We already had our first son. And with Israel, that's exactly what happened. We said, come live at our house. We'll adopt your baby. Let's let you see the whole thing, the whole term. Once you give birth, you decide. If you want to keep it, we're happy. If you want us to adopt it, and that's how we got our second son. There is no such thing as an unwanted baby. Planned Parenthood keeps using that word. And no, every child is wanted. There are many people. When we went to adopt, I think she told us they had like 1,500 couples on a waiting list. People wait 4 or 5 years to get a baby.
It is so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Heartbreaking.
Yes. But again, we want to, at Westside Pregnancy Center, is again to walk the journey with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times it's like, okay, you've kept your baby, Godspeed. We don't want to do that. We want to walk the journey with them. So there's a lot of programs that it's going to take us a long time to implement and get them started, but that's where our community of faith can come in. Of course we want counselors. We need people at the abortion clinic praying and to be there, and sidewalk counselors. We need that. We also need people that will help us with support group for ladies that have already had the abortion, but they're grieving and they're broken and they need healing and restoring from Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
We need those people. We need people to help us sort baby clothes. We need people, we want to offer Bible studies, embrace grace for the girls that are pregnant and want to learn more about our faith and about Jesus Christ and his unfailing love.
Oh, we want to even grow. We have a young lady right now who is taking classes to be a lactation specialist.
Right, right.
Yeah, we want to be all-encompassing. Not a medical clinic, but we want to be all-encompassing to help them meet their needs, help them go through that journey. Like you said, not just say, okay, you had the baby.
Yeah.
Because that's what the pro-aborts say. Oh, yeah, they just have ladies have their
wanna
babies,
save
but
the
they
baby.
desert them.
We don't care about
We
the
don't do
lady.
that.
That's not true.
We haven't been doing that for 30 years.
Right. And to offer parenting classes,
Mm-hmm.
finance classes, if you don't have a job. Wait, tell us the story of just what recently has happened about the ones that were at the clinic in Santa Teresa.
We go out and we very peacefully, there's no yelling. We have literature and we'll say, can I give you some literature? Can I talk to you for a minute? I'll tell them my experience. Sometimes my husband's like my bodyguard because some of the young men do get upset because they want the girls to take care of this problem for them. And it's very seldom we'll have a man that is like, please talk to her. I don't want her to do this. But we had a young couple come up to us, and finally I got to the point, I can't say anything else to you. I've offered you our services at the clinic. We've offered you our friendship. What is your big reason for having to kill your baby? And I will say it that way because that's what it is. And she looked up and said, well, he doesn't have a job and we don't have any money. And so my husband said, well, what's your degree? And I think his degree was in graphic design, something like that. And Ron, my husband doesn't need a graphic designer, but he said, we'll give you a job. And that's all it took. That couple found out they have twins. They've just moved into a new apartment.
Awesome.
He's doing fabulous at his job. It's going to be a happy ending. It's already a happy ending because we saved a life. And it was that
Amen.
easy. It'd be awesome. I can see in the future us having a whole job referral booklet where when somebody comes in, we can say, yeah, let's find you a job.
To be able to get into the girls into the clinic and just say, we
You're
want to
not
be the
alone.
hands and feet of Christ.
Amen.
We want to be the heart of Christ. And how can we best help you? If that's you need a place to live, you have opened your home. There are people. Again, if you have a passion and a heart for Christ and you really want to help reach out, but you don't want to be a counselor, maybe that's not your thing. Again, there are so many ways to love them to the Lord. And if you call us, and I hope that they have, I'm sure we have the telephone number,
Yes.
and you can,
Yes.
that they can call and just, again, just tell us what your talent is, what your gift is. And I'm sure that we can match you with something that's going on at the Westside Pregnancy Center. So can you get that telephone number for us?
I don't have it written down. It's on the screen, I believe.
Okay.
It's on the screen.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Please call us. And again, if you don't want to be right in with the counseling of the girls, we need somebody to help us raise or do a diaper drive at your church, just to or try to get other people involved in volunteering. Again, there are so many ways to serve the Lord here. It's very exciting, very exciting. And again, to see how the Lord is opening doors, it's just.
And I apologize for not having that number. I think they have it down on your screen, but we're going to come back with you next Monday, so I'll make sure I have that number. It is on the screen.
Yes.
We're being signaled. Good. Yeah.
Good.
So you have our number. And there may be some of you, I have a group of ladies who I was trying to get on the board. They're older, and they don't leave their houses at night. And I said, well, then will you be our prayer partners? Nothing is going to happen if we don't have a base of prayer surrounding this. The enemy is out there like a roaring lion seeking whom he can devour. And if we're taking away some of that devouring that he's doing, we know he's going to come after it. But greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. We don't need to worry about that. But we do need prayer partners. If you would even just consider calling us and saying, you know, I'm homebound, but I know how to pray. You can be one of our warriors helping us behind the scenes.
And, you know, prayer is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
This was covered in prayer from the very first that we started thinking about it, to cover it in prayer and to ask the Lord to go in front of us, behind us, sideways, and to protect us. And we do need prayer warriors. We need people to pray. And again, I know this is of the Lord, because the timing with Planned Parenthood coming to El Paso, the timing where
Our crazy laws.
States are going crazy right now with
The afterbirth.
Yes.
Born alive. A baby born alive, and being able to be allowed to either smother him, let him just take his last breaths and die is just a horrible, horrible scourge on our...
My head can't even wrap around some of the things that are happening now. So we know that it's the Lord that is leading us and again, just opening doors. And again, if you want to be part of this, please call us. Again, there's so many
And the
things.
number is, thanks to our gracious host, the number is 703-3001, Westside Pregnancy Center. You can tell we're quite a ways off before we open our doors. So the number is new. But we'd love to hear from you if you want to say, you know, I'm praying about it. I'd like to join you guys. This has been on my heart. I'm getting calls. I used to be a Christian school teacher, and I'm getting calls from students from 20 years ago saying, my dad's a pastor on the east side, but I want to come out one day a week and do something.
Oh, wonderful.
One day a week.
Wonderful.
It's not a job 5 days a week,
Right.
a couple
Once
of
a month.
hours, once a month, whatever you can do.
Exactly. That's wonderful.
And in the meantime, pray for
Wonderful.
us. We're working on the legal side of this, getting all of our business done and doing everything legally and right. And so you can pray that we got all of our paperwork done. CareNet is an excellent group. I hope you Google it and look up CareNet. They have centers all over the U.S. and they're very, very, I can't wait for them to come down and train us just from reading their training manual. They have been doing this and they're so precise. You know, covering yourself legally. We know that the enemy's out there. And Planned Parenthood will send, I was listening to something from them last week, and Planned Parenthood will send their girls in to see our clinic, mess us up, go back, tell lies. There's all kinds of websites now telling lies about crisis pregnancy centers. That's what they used to be called. If you read one of those, be careful what you read. Their whole job is to promote abortion by tearing us down, tearing down churches, tearing down anybody that would get in their way. Money is a powerful motivator.
And again, you were talking about the enemy really getting in there. I won't mention the group is their name, but there is a group that is raising money for transportation, even transportation of getting the girl to the abortion clinic and then funding the abortion. We as a Christian community, we have to rise up and stand and financially support too, that we can save babies where the enemy is trying his hardest in every way possible to kill these babies.
And that's another area where you can, if you're working and you're already booked during the week, talk to your pastor. Tell your pastor, I don't care what side of town you're on, pastor, I heard about this Westside Pregnancy Center. Is there a way that our church can start taking donations of baby bottles, diapers? Can we give to them financially? Can you put them on our missions board? Most of our people are going to be volunteers. I think we're going to have one, maybe two people that are paid staff members to start. But we still need the resources to have literature to put in those girls' homes. We've already done one item that we all worked on was finding out what all of our resources are, where are the rape crisis centers, where are birthing classes, where are, I can't even remember, we did so much work and we have lists of stuff ready to tell the girls, oh, well, you can go here. Oh, you live on this side of town, you can go here.
That's right. That's right. Another thing that I think has been overlooked a lot of times in the past is from the fathers and the men's perspective of this. And we are truly blessed to have a man.
We can say his first name, Rudy.
Rudy.
Our wonderful
We love
Rudy.
Rudy. Yes, we do. And he's an older gentleman, and he has quite a story, and this is where his heart is. And again, I know I say it too much, but the Lord has just brought the right people at the right time. A family moved here, a couple moved here from Killeen, Texas, and she was the office manager at a CareNet affiliate, and she walked right into the door at the right time. Rudy is brand new to our church.
But he's got a wonderful
6
testimony.
months.
He's going to be able to talk to these
He
young men
wants to
and say,
counsel the men.
I've been there.
He's
I
been
almost
there.
did. Don't do this. I mean, there's nothing more powerful. I hate that any of us are post-abortive. I hate that any of us had to believe that lie and had to go through that pain. But God is a God that redeems.
Amen.
And to see some of the
And
people that
restore.
we now have that are people that are in their redemption and in their gratitude to what God's done in their life have decided, I'm going to fight this battle because I was in that battle and I lost. I don't want somebody else to lose.
Right.
That's just tremendous that we have people like that.
Absolutely.
And so sorry, Rudy, we kind of gave away your story.
Oh, we did. We did. But I'm sure he's thankful that God can take something so devastating at the time and make something so beautiful. Nothing that you go through is ever a waste. God always builds on that, and he uses it to glorify himself and to help others. And I believe that Rudy is going to be instrumental in helping a lot of young men make the right decisions.
Absolutely.
And if they're grieving over a past decision, he'll be able to, through Christ, be able to bring restoring love and unfailing love, and just we're excited. Very
And
excited to
even
have this
that,
on.
we can, there are different, we need to find out more about, but there are different, there's Rachel's Vineyard.
There
What- where-
is with Guiding Star, they have a grieving support center.
Yeah.
Or support meetings, and it's just something that's even when you have an abortion, you're never left without scars.
You have a birthday. You have a birthday the rest of your life. I have 2 sons. I'll never forget their birthdays.
That's right.
You have a birthday that's with you, but it's not a birthday, it's a death date.
Right.
Both the man and the woman. It's always with them. So yeah, I didn't tell our cameraman, I hope he can see this. This is what we're talking about. Is that too small? Obviously we're live, so I can ask. This is a 12 or 13-week-old baby. We're not talking about a blob of tissue, like they say. Oh, it's not anything. No. In God's sight, that minute that sperm and that egg unite, it's a new creation. But I mean, this is a child. Its nose, its eyes, it just needs to grow more. It's incredible. I mean, we'll go back to that born alive baby. We've come so far that we've ignored this.
Right.
And now this is where it's gotten us.
Right.
I think hundreds of years from now, we're going to be talking about abortion the way people talk about Auschwitz, and not to diminish that horrendous atrocity at all, but it's going to be the same thing. There's people down in the future, I can't believe they're not going to say, how could they have been so barbaric?
Well, from the time that Roe versus Wade was passed, 63 million babies have been aborted.
I think that's the equivalent, I was reading, of 13 United States. Take 13 states out of our country. That's how many people are missing from our society. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So I'm going to say that number again, since I didn't have it last time, 703-3001. Westside Pregnancy Center. I've got Deb Gray with me. I'm so happy we met.
Oh, it's been
Like
amazing.
she said, none of it's been serendipitous. Everything has been the hand of God and us going, oh, wow, look what happened. I mean, I quit a job. I loved being a Christian school teacher for 25 years. And I just told my husband, I don't want to do this anymore. There was no problems, but I feel like God's going to call me to do something pro-life. At the time, I thought it was, we were out at the clinic and I would see Dr. Thayer's empty little office, because now he's moved to the other side of the shopping mall. And I thought, oh, I'd love, this is just me. This is the way I'm built. I would love to run a crisis pregnancy center out of his old office.
Right there.
So we looked and we looked and we planned and we were saving, and before we knew it, a doctor came and took over that little space. And right as soon as that building got built, that space got taken, we met.
We met.
And it was like, okay, Lord, this must be the direction. And I almost didn't hear you. And we almost did that. And everybody at Westside Community Church has just been so gracious to welcome me in. And
We love having you there. We love having you
and
there.
I can't wait to see what he's going to do with the
That's
whole
right.
thing.
I knew as soon as I met you. The Lord said, this is it. This is the one. So
He's a good God.
He's a real good God.
He's a good God. I have one
That's
more
right.
thing to hold up for our gracious television man. There's a movie coming out March 29th called Unplanned. Some of you may have heard about it. And sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to put it. And we would love for you to go. We need to support movies like this. Don't be afraid when you see an R rating. There is nothing worth R in this. The only thing that is R is them wanting to keep people from going to it. I've already seen it. There's a little bit of blood running down a girl's leg. That is the worst.
This movie is about Abby Johnson, and she was the director of Planned Parenthood, and it tells her how the Lord spoke to her and changed her heart.
It's a great movie. We saw a preview of it at the church, and I hope you will go see it. I do want to leave that as last. We'll talk with you again. Leave that with you. Go see
God
the movie
bless you.
Unplanned.
God bless you.